Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out IK Multimedia's Mic Room. This plugin, basically what it's supposed to do is transform your microphone, and if it's not in this list, then you can match it to the closest approximation. You match your microphone and it transforms into the sound of 21 different microphones. Now, I can't tell you how accurate this is because I don't own all these microphones. I've used a few of the ones that are the target, but the way I look at this plugin is it's a tone shaper. It's more than just EQ. There's a few extra things going on. You have more controls, and I think it's an interesting product and a good alternative to the upcoming Slate Digital virtual microphone system. So, I've played with this already. I've played with it on spoken word, vocals, and electric guitar. It's very apparent the differences between the different microphones on electric guitar, so that's what I'm going to start out with. But before I go into that, I'm going to go over the interface. Basically, our presets are up here. I think it's a little silly to even bother with them with a plugin like this. By the way, IK Multimedia, you guys are going to have to update your interface one of these days because these plugins are getting a little bit too small, especially with people upgrading to 4K monitors. On this 1080p, it's a little small, but eventually I guess T-Rex version 4 might update that, but I know it's going to take a bit for that to happen. But we're going the way of bigger monitors and expandable interfaces, retractable interfaces. But anyway, just a small gripe along with the fact that there is a GUI glitch, which I'm going to show you. If I switch this, watch the microphone models. When I come back, yeah, they need to change, they need to fix that. So it'll probably be fixed in a patch. Anyway, these electric guitar mics, or mic, yeah, well, it's the same mic. It's a Shure SM57, which they can't say that, but they give it a close approximation of what it looks like right here. If you ever used the microphone, that's certainly what it looks like. And let's go through the list. We have a Dynamic 58, which is a Shure SM58. Dynamic 20, which is an Electro Voice RE20. Dynamic 421 is a Sennheiser MD421, probably Mark II. I believe this is a Sennheiser 441. This is a Sennheiser 609. Some kind of baby blue bottle microphone. I forget the exact model name. This one I'm not too familiar with. I'm gonna say it wrong if I even say it, so I'm not gonna say it. It's a C12, I believe. I believe it's an AKG. This is a Neumann U87, a Neumann U67, a Neumann KM84. I believe this is a Neumann as well. This is an AKG C414. I don't know what this is. A Royer 121 ribbon mic. I don't even know what this might be a Royer. I don't know. I don't know about this one either. This one looks like an AKG, like a kick drum microphone or a bass guitar microphone. I have no idea, but it gives you a telephone effect. And this one looks like Elvis Presley's microphone. Like an RCA something or other. And now these are all the IK Multimedia microphones that you can buy. Alright, that's the end of the list. So I'm going to go back to the SM57 simulation. So you pick your source on the left side. Then what you do, and I've already done it here, is you dial up your input gain so that the level peaks between right here at the halfway point and 2/3 of the way in. So somewhere around here, and you'll see it once I hit play, This little, it like lights up in green. And then you also pick your target microphone, which I'll go through them as this track plays so you can hear the difference between all these different mic types. Like I said, I don't know if this is an exact replica of each one of these microphones, but I would use it like you would use like switching between guitar amps is basically the way that I would put it. So here we go. By the way, this Ribbon 121 simulation was my favorite out of all of them. It just kept the original tone of the guitar cabinet and smoothed it out, which that's what the real microphone does. I thought this one sounded the best out of all of them, but your taste may vary. I forgot to mention on the master channel, I just have a simple limiter so that it's not clipping the output of the screen capture software. Okay, I'm going to go back to the Ribbon simulation and show you guys some of these other controls. So we have a proximity effect control, which basically controls the low end, and this actually works quite effectively. So I'm going to play this and adjust it while it plays. So that's another way you can shape tone. And then finally we have our harmonics knob, which I'm kind of playing around with. I wasn't too happy with what it was doing on a vocal, but we'll see how it works with a guitar amp. I didn't try this earlier. Okay, so I wasn't really hearing too much of an effect, just kind of subtle on this. On vocals, it's way more apparent, which I'll do later on. So yeah, my only complaint about this plugin is you had to boost the input, but there's no output knob. So IK, if you're watching this video, please add an output knob somewhere on this plugin. It's needed. Anytime you have an input, you should really have an output knob. I gotta add a plugin after this to bring the level down. All right, I got my file loaded up. I just randomly grabbed one that I liked. And so yeah, I actually have to change my source to the closest approximation to a Shure SM7B, which is, to me, the Sennheiser MD421. That's a large diaphragm dynamic microphone, and let's switch these through all the different settings just like I did with the other recording. I guess I should do it before, but then it's not fair to the boost. But anyway, here it is. Alright, now on. By the way, somebody asked me about this in the comments section before. If this channel is clipping, as it just did, it doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is the master channel clipping. This is all floating point, 64-bit floating point. I could raise the level of this, distort the shit out of it, and as long as I lower my master channel, or in this case, we have the limiter plugin running, as long as that's not distorting, we're not clipping anything. I did a video about that about 2 or 3 years ago, the power of floating point. And anyway, back to this. I liked what this can do with changing mics for distorted guitar. I mean, this is a nice thing to have, because I know when I'm messing with Amplitude, which is another IK Multimedia product, I switch the microphones around a lot. You can't do that if you actually recorded a real guitar cabinet, and now you had that ability. I know a lot of people are going to use this plugin on vocals, but you know, there's so many different things you can use it on. Anything you recorded with a microphone, you can use this on. By the way, IK Multimedia, please add a Shure SM7B. Okay, so the following vocal is something I sung on. I am not a singer, but we were doing this as a funny song. So, you know, having a bad singer makes a song kind of funnier, in my opinion. Plus, I had nobody else to do it. So, this song is about an organization called Acorn, who was apparently helping prostitutes get federal government money. Anyway, big political thing that happened in 2009, and I recorded vocals for it, and I used a Shure SM7B, just like I'm using right now for my voiceover. And so I'm going to load this up as I showed you before. It matches best with the Dynamic 421. And I already have everything set up and ready to go, so we could just switch through these. And I have all my effects off for the vocals, as you can see. And my only plugin, I have Ozone just to boost the level. I have nothing else on except for the maximizer module. So here we go. They say your taxes help the poor, but left their morals at the door. There's controversy on the nightly news. They say your taxes help the poor, but left their morals at the door. They say your taxes help the poor, but left their morals at the door. I'm gonna boost the level up, hold on. They say your taxes help the poor, but left their morals at the door. There's controversy on the nightly news. They say your taxes help the poor, but left... by the way, before, And of course, I'm losing my boost.
They say your taxes help the poor, but left their morals at the door. There's controversy. They say your taxes help the poor, but left their morals at the door. There's controversy on the nightly news. They say your taxes help the poor, but left their morals at the door. They helped out pimps and prostitutes. The government. They helped out pimps and prostitutes.
Oh, we have a graphical glitch happen during the review. Alright.
They helped out pimps and prostitutes. The government.
See, just like any microphone, it depends on the source that you use. And I think this is kind of an educational thing too, for those of you who are new to recording and the effects that different microphones have on different sources. Notice how my voice became very muddy with this microphone.
They helped out pimps and prostitutes. The government should
What sounded great on a guitar amp, or cabinet, I always say amp, guitar cabinet, doesn't sound so great on my voice.
They helped out pimps and prostitutes. The government should prosecute. Oh, Lord. They helped out pimps and prostitutes. Mickey Mouse and voter fraud. Jefferson would not applaud.
Okay. I'm sorry, this song's so freaking silly now. It was silly back then too, but it's even sillier now. Yeah, I like that you can change quickly the tone of what this is doing. And actually, I'm gonna flip it to what my favorite one was.
Mickey Mouse and voter fraud. Jefferson would not applaud. Mortgage payments long since overdue. Mickey Mouse and voter fraud. Jefferson would not applaud. Mortgage payment.
Now that's interesting. When you distort tubes, it's a lot more apparent than with a dynamic microphone.
Mickey Mouse and voter fraud. Jefferson would not applaud. Mortgage payments long since overdue. Mickey Mouse and voter fraud. Jefferson would not applaud. Mortgage payments long since over.
And then also, I'm gonna go back to, what was that, the dynamic one? Hold on. By the way, IK, if you could, instead of me having to constantly go down here and then have it go over here, I would rather be able to click right on the microphone and the list pops up so that I can keep my mouse right here and flip back and forth between them. I keep wanting to click on the microphone to change it.
Mickey Mouse and voter.
Okay, I want to change the proximity effect on the vocal.
Mickey Mouse and voter fraud. Jefferson would not applaud. Mortgage payments long since over. Mickey Mouse and voter fraud. Jefferson would not applaud. Mortgage payments long since over.
So that's a good alternative to doing a high pass filter on a vocal. Alright, next one and final one is spoken word. Again, I'm going to be the subject of it. I wish I had more samples. I apologize, guys. I don't record as much as I used to. I mean, there was one point where I was recording like 3 people a month, and I don't have permission to use everybody's stuff because I didn't get contract signed and whatnot. But yeah, I'm gonna have to keep using my own sources here. All right, now for this one, I used a modified Michael Jolly microphone, which approximates a Neumann KM84. So that's why I had that selected for the source, and I'm just going to go through these as I'm talking on this sound file. And by the way, this comes from the TV pilot, which you can check out at vigilantestv.com. That's vigilantestv.com. Parking Wars was a very one-sided show. Oh, original, by the way. Parking Wars was a very one-sided show. 99 times out of 100, the meter maids, the boot people. Parking Wars was a very one-sided show. 99 times out of 100, the meter maids, the boot people, the impound lot employees would be in the right. What they didn't show you is there was a school controversy, and they also don't show you where the meter maids write bad tickets. Parking Wars was a very one-sided show. 99 times out of 100, the meter maids, the boot people, the impound lot employees would be in the right. What they didn't show you is there was a school controversy, and Parking Wars was a very one-sided show. 99 times out of 100, the meter maids, the boot people, the impound lot employees would be in the right. What they didn't show you is there was a school controversy, and they also don't show you where the meter maids write bad. Parking Wars was a very one-sided show. 99 times out of 100, the meter maids, the boot people, the impound lot employees would be in the right. What they didn't show you is there was a school controversy, and they also don't show you where the meter maids write bad tickets. Parking Wars was a very one-sided show. 99 times out of 100, the meter maids, the boot people, the impound lot employees would be in the right. What they didn't show you... Quick observation. Having a condenser microphone as the actual source matches better to my ears to the condenser simulations than vice versa. And the same applies for a dynamic microphone matching to a dynamic simulation and a ribbon, which is also a form of a dynamic microphone. Condenser, it's dynamic, not so much of a match, in my opinion. And that makes sense, really. You know, if you think about it, a dynamic microphone isn't as clear. Condensers are. So it would make sense it would match better to the condenser microphones. This is a good alternative to the virtual microphone system, which will eventually come out, I believe, next month in December of 2015. But that's a $1,000 system. And this, I believe, runs for $70. I'm not sure how many credits from IK, but $70. And it works pretty well. You know, you can get close with EQ. I think it adds more than EQ, though. It's definitely changing, to my ears, what these different mics can do. And the cool thing is, another thing coming out, I believe, in a week or so, is the Slate Digital microphone preamp simulations, which you get if you're a subscriber. And I don't know what they're going to sell them for. But if you couple that with this plugin, you'll have a cheap alternative to the virtual microphone system. And that's pretty cool. You know, I don't know if IK recommends different things. You know, their own microphones might sound better coupled with this, but who knows? I mean, that's the thing, is all these different microphones vary. So this is an approximation. Obviously, I would recommend, if you have the money, to get the virtual microphone system, because the idea for it makes more sense to me, where you start off with a neutral source and then go from there. But I think this works quite effectively at getting different tonal characteristics of different microphones and how they sound in general. I like it. I like that there's a good variety of sounds in this package, and I think a lot of people will get a lot of use out of something like this. So if you like different saturation type flavors, you know, something that you can just put on and, fix a source that you might not like the sound of right off the bat. I'm already hearing that if I were to put this into something that I already recorded, I could easily get a much better source without having to do any EQing again. And plus, it sounds a little bit better with some of these microphone choices. They sound a little bit bigger. I especially love that ribbon microphone. Using my 100-hour Shure SM57, and it sounds improved to a Royer microphone, which I don't know how much they run nowadays, but I know it's not $100. That's pretty cool. So for $100 plus $70, I have a better more ribbon sounding microphone. But you can check it out for yourself on all your different sources. I believe they do 14-day trials now with IK Multimedia. And that's about it. This has been Adam for RealHomeRecording.com.